talk about Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins. The Tua Tagovailoa and Miami Dolphins situation is a good and a bad one. They have a huge Tua Tagovailoa problem. And I'm not saying it because he's a bad quarterback. Tua Tagovailoa has 25 passing touchdowns to 8 interceptions. And to me, he has played extremely well in this system in his first year under Mike McDaniel. The problem is the injuries that he suffered. And I'm not just talking about the concussions. I'm talking about the injuries at Alabama and how these injuries can rack up on him into the future. Tua Tagovailoa is a very good quarterback. And a lot of people like to make fun of him. They say he can't throw the ball down the field. He's nickel and diming down the field. Look at Tua. He has a new alarm. A lot of people need to put this in perspective. Tua Tagovailoa cannot move around like how he was at Alabama before the hip injury that he suffered. If you go back and you look at the film before he suffered his hip injury, he was able to throw the ball down the field in a tight spiral, and he was able to do a lot of more things inside and outside the pocket before he suffered his hip injury. And no, he wasn't Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen scrambling at the time, but he was more mobile. That hip injury has decreased him of a lot of his mobility inside and outside the pocket. But Tua Tagovailoa is still one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL, and he's a good quarterback. The main problems that they deal with Tua Tagovailoa, they can't win any games without him. And that's to their credit. They have done an amazing job of putting talent around him. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, all these guys. Even though Mike Gesicki was drafted when he got there, they still put talent around him, getting him to Teron Armstead, getting him an offensive head coach, because it was a makeup for the things that he had to go through early in his career with this Miami Dolphins team. The problem with Tua this year is the head injuries. He suffered his first head injury in September against the Buffalo Bills. I don't care what the Dolphins say. He did not hurt his back. He was concussed. He got up. He wobbled. The teammate helped him up. He finished that game. They won that game. Then they travel a short week. They go play that Thursday night game. And you know what happened that night? He hits his head on the turf, and man, it wasn't a pretty sight. He gets stretched off the field. He comes back. He's pretty clean for the rest of the year. In December, he gets hurt again with another concussion. Finishes out the game against the Green Bay Packers. That is 3 concussions in the span of 1 season of football. That is not good for anyone, let alone a franchise that's trying to make a playoff push right now. I want to get away from the team aspect of things. I want to talk about the personal level of things first. I rarely do this. They need to really look at Tua Tagovailoa and ask, is it worth it going forward? Him and his family and an independent doctor. They need to look and say, hey, are these too many injuries that this kid's dealing with? I'm not just talking about the concussions. I'm talking about the things that he did with at Alabama, because he suffered more than just a hip injury. This guy right now can be labeled as injury prone. And this is coming from a huge Tua Tagovailoa fan. I am very scared for his future moving forward, because you look at him now, any type of hit that he takes is not a good hit at all. And you worry about how he gets thrown to the ground because his head always whiplashes off the turf. And now the football side of things, if you're the Dolphins, when do you say, okay, enough is enough? We need to look into trying to get a replacement just in case this guy can't stay healthy. We do not want to be in an Andrew Luck situation with Tua Tagovailoa to where he shows up one preseason, or he shows up and says, hey, I'm done playing. This isn't worth it. Or you give him a contract extension and halfway through he says, you know what, I'm done. The Dolphins don't want to be in the hook in that situation. You really don't want to be. So I think they need to prepare a guy behind Tua, not replace Tua. Get you a guy that can get behind Tua, and when things aren't right or when he does get hurt, knocking on wood, he can be reliable. He can come in there. He can be a good backup for you. Quintessentially, go get you a veteran that can step in and make some plays for you. I think in a situation like that, you don't have to get a franchise guy, because, man, you look at the receivers on this team, all their quarterback has to do is just get the ball there. That is it, and read the defense. With this speed and this talent. But before Tua Tagovailoa dealt with that concussion injury against the Green Bay Packers last time we saw him, he was perfect in the first half. All a quarterback has to do is be able to stretch the field, be accurate with these weapons. Because, man, do they have them. You got Teron Armstead at tackle. You got Raheem Mostert at the running back position, even though he does have a fumbling problem. But when he doesn't fumble, he's a good running back to have. Tyreek Hill is one of the best receivers in the game. So is Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, Trent Sherfield, Cedric Wilson. So you have weapons all over the field. And with the play calling with Mike McDaniels, he can call some plays. You just put a quarterback in there that has a strong arm, can read the defense, don't turn the football over. You could be good. So I think the Miami Dolphins are in a tricky situation to what do you want to do with Tua? You want to keep him for sure because it's a guy you drafted in the first round. So you want to keep him around, and this team is meant for him. The system is meant for him. But these injuries keep happening. You're not going to have a choice but to move on from Tua Tagovailoa. But let me know in the comment section how you feel about Tua Tagovailoa. I want him to stay healthy, and I want him to prove everyone wrong. Because I'm one of those people, I'm in a Tua Tagovailoa supporter camp. I think he can be very excellent if they just give him more time in the system and they just protect him a little bit more. And he just stops playing reckless. So let me know in the comment section how you feel about Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins. Should they move off of him? Should they prepare to move off of Tua Tagovailoa? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.